Square feet of exhibit space here this year, the largest area ever for the Philadelphia Auto Show. We have 700 different models of vehicles, 40 manufacturers, 9 ride and drives that you can participate in, and we've got a great turnout. We're expecting a great turnout beyond the weather this past few days. Anyway, at this point I'd like to introduce our first speaker today, David Principato, Ford Motor Company. Welcome, David. Morning, Don. How are you?
I brought props. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Ford display. Great to see so many dealer friends out there, as well as some friends from the press. I'd like to talk just for a couple minutes about what's going on in the industry here, and then talk about these great, exciting products. So you should all know that 2013, really good year in the Philadelphia region. About 505,000 cars and trucks sold in the industry for all brands. This year, going to be even better, 520,000. So a good way of looking at this is, on average, probably about 1,200 additional cars and trucks making their way out of showrooms every single month, year over year, further strengthening our economy. All good news. I want to go back just a couple years because it's important that you know Ford made a really, really important decision. We decided that no matter what type of vehicle you were interested in, car, truck, SUV, CUV, small, medium, large, didn't matter. We were absolutely going to make fuel economy a reason to buy, and then deliver best-in-class or near best-in-class fuel economy. Fuel economy is still #1 on every list as a reason to buy. It doesn't matter if it's a small car, all the way up to a full-size pickup. And this commitment to fuel economy, you might not know this, Ford actually has a larger blueprint for sustainability. Sounds fancy, but one of the key things in there, every new vehicle program, every single one, weight reduction mandate, 250 to 750 pounds. So that brings me to our great F-150 behind me. A little bit of bragging. Last year, we sold an F-150 every 41 seconds. Okay, no watch today. 37 years, America's best-selling truck, way back to 1977. That was a long time ago. In fact, I looked it up. In 1977, the #1 rated TV show was Laverne and Shirley. Who remembers Laverne and Shirley? Anyone want to, for a Ford hat, anyone want to sing the theme for me? Yeah, good. 1, 2, 3, keep going. Shamil, okay, you got a Ford hat. All right, there we go. There you go. Thank you. Okay, back in a serious foot here. This is the toughest, smartest, most capable pickup we've ever made. Now, you're probably going to think, all right, Dave, you're going to talk about the aluminum body, right? No, not yet. Here's the story that's been missed. The essence of built Ford tough in this truck has a lot to do with the frame. Now, no one's going to say that our current truck isn't built Ford tough, but it's 23% high-strength steel in the frame on today's truck. This truck is 77% high-strength steel. We have more strength and rigidity in this truck than most of our competitors' heavy-duty trucks. Not just light-duty, heavy-duty. And the really great news, high-strength steel weighs less than standard steel, so we've taken 70 pounds of weight out of the frame itself. It's part of a total weight reduction on this truck over its predecessor of 700 plus pounds. 700 plus pounds. So let's talk about this great aluminum body. Here's what you need to know. Everything you see here, except for front bumper, what we call the dash pad here, and the rear bumper, is high-strength aluminum alloy. Now, we've been using aluminum for quite a few years, unbeknownst to a lot of people. Since 1997, the hood of the F-150 has been aluminum. We have aluminum in some other vehicles, suspension components. We also happen to have a CEO who knows a little bit about using aluminum in commercial aircraft over the years. Above all, here's what I want you to take back about the high-strength aluminum alloy that's in this truck. Can anyone tell me what this is? Does anyone know what kind of tank this is? This is a Bradley fighting vehicle used by the proud men and women of our military. And the reason I'm showing you this picture, the aluminum alloy in this product is the same 6000 series aluminum alloy that's in the F-150. So when you think about the aluminum in this truck, think Bradley and not this, okay? Because that's not it. Let's talk about the benefits. Obviously, fuel economy, right? Lighter truck. But when you have less truck to move, you also have more that you can put into payload. You can tow more. The truck accelerates faster. It stops shorter. Aluminum, by its nature, is thinner than steel, right? But on this truck, it actually is more dent and ding resistance than steel. And you say, how do we do that? Well, here's what we do. We actually create a sandwich. We take aluminum layers and we sandwich them together, and then behind that, we provide what we're calling engineered reinforcements. So this is actually more dent and ding resistant than steel, and guess what? It doesn't rust. Second thing you should know, it's extremely repairable. We put a whole lot of thought up front into the design of the body so that if it had to be replaced, it would be very easy to do. And we've already started training our Ford dealers, their body shops, and reached out to independent body shops for repairability. So some other things about the truck. We have a great powertrain story too. We start with a 3.5 liter V6 standard. We have a 5 liter V8. We have the terrific 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6 that all of you know about, over 400,000 on the road today. And the really big story this year, a 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost. Here's the bottom line to this engine. 8,000 pounds plus towing capacity. 8,000 pounds plus. Mid-range V8 power and best-in-class fuel economy. We're not certified yet because the truck is new, but think high 20s miles per gallon on this truck with all the great Built Ford Tough capabilities. It's amazing. Some other features that you should know about. We actually have made this area extend out at the A-pillar 4 inches. We made the truck 1.5 inches wider, so it's got more hip and shoulder room. And we lowered the belt line. You probably noticed that. When you get behind the seat, or if you're a passenger, you'll notice it's easier to see around the truck because of that. A couple other things. We have LED lighting up front and in back, which looks really cool. But the really neat story is we have LED spotlights on each mirror. And at night, it projects a really neat glow around the truck, plus it adds to safety. We also carry the LED lighting back into the box so that even if it's dark out, you can see and get your items in the back. We have some other segment first things I'd just like to mention to you. We brought a lot of the great technologies from the last few years of our cars and trucks into this truck. Blind spot monitoring, lane keeping system. In the back, we have rear inflatable seat belts. The camera is now a 360-degree camera, so the driver gets a bird's eye view through the dashboard. So when you think about pickups, this really is the future. In fact, even beyond, it's the future for all vehicles. This F-150 will be in your dealership, or in the Ford dealerships, in the fourth quarter of this year. Okay, so it's a big year for pickups. It's also a huge year for the industry and for Ford in commercial vehicles. We do not have the privilege of having a full-size Ford Transit on the floor today, but I do want to spend a couple minutes talking to you about it because it's an absolutely huge vehicle for the industry. The Ford Transit, full-size, has been the best-selling commercial vehicle in Europe for decades, and it's coming to Philadelphia for the first time this summer. It's got twice the interior capacity of the largest Ford E-Series van. More payload, more towing, 25% better fuel economy. But you know what's really great about it? You get in this full-size commercial van, it feels like a car. It really feels rich inside, and it's a commercial van with all those great capabilities. 2 wheelbases, short and long, 3 roof heights, 3 powertrains, standard 3.7 V6, 3.5-liter EcoBoost, and an all-new 3.2-liter Power Stroke inline 5 diesel, best-in-class fuel economy. And then coming to an airport terminal near you, the Transit Wagon, full size, 8, 10, 12, or 15 passengers. Now I'm also here to announce to you that the demise of the minivan has been greatly exaggerated. I want you to all go back to when minivans first came out, and this is like 30 years ago. I'm really talking about Chrysler, right? First minivan, y'all remember that? Correct. Now, what you remember about that vehicle, it was smaller, it was affordable, it was agile, it got good fuel economy. What are today's minivans? They're nice, they're bigger, they're more expensive, they're not particularly agile, they don't get good gas mileage. At Ford, we think it's time to offer families affordable transportation in this segment. And so I'm proud to tell you that today on the floor behind you, please take a look when we're finished at the new Transit Connect wagon. Great story. That car on this floor today is priced at $30,000. It's available starting from $22,000 and change. 30 miles per gallon with the optional 1.6-liter engine. That is the standard 2.5 that gets 28 miles per gallon. Some great options. 2 different wheelbases, 5 or 7 passenger seating capability. Optional full-length panoramic roof, fixed roof. Ultra clear windshield. It uses very thin wires in the windshield embedded to melt snow and ice much more quickly than you would see otherwise. It basically drives like a C-Max/Focus, like Escape, with more functionality because it's based on that C platform. So it's affordable, best-in-class mileage, drives great. It's what the van should be for most families. So I'm going to wrap up with my all-time favorite vehicle, and I'm sure many of yours. It's actually all the way over to the other side of the display. It's the brand new 2015 Mustang. Now I know that all of you probably read about the New York City reveal of the Mustang, and some of you might have even been there, but there was so much surprise and delight in that vehicle, I just want to cover a few key points. First, although it's always been a head turner, the way we've made it lower and wider and more aggressive, and really brought that fastback styling from the late 60s back, the car is absolutely stunning. We also kept the signature tri-bar sequential tail lamps in the back. Okay, so take a look at those. Extensive use of aluminum in that vehicle. Aluminum hood, aluminum fenders, aluminum rear axle housing, aluminum seats, and suspension components. Significant weight reduction on Mustang, which contributes to performance and fuel economy. Powertrain story, just like on the F-150, phenomenal on that car. The 3.7 to carryover, right? Base engine, 5-liter V8. Already has 420 horsepower in today's car. We've made a few little tweaks, we'll call them, including a bigger intake manifold. We haven't published the number yet. Well north of 420 horsepower in that V8. And the big story on EcoBoost for that car, just like on this vehicle, is an optional 2.3-liter EcoBoost 4-cylinder engine. 305 plus horsepower. And an engine that's significantly lighter than either the 6 or the 8, and fantastic fuel economy as an option on that vehicle. Some other things that you might not have seen in the initial coverage of that car. We've taken some great steps with the suspension. You know that the rear suspension is no longer fixed axle, independent rear, but what you might not know is the front suspension is a big story too. We have a great new subframe that provides a lot more stiffness, a lot better turn-in feel for the driver. It also allows you to accommodate bigger brakes for better braking performance on that car. And then lastly, the interior of the car is world-class today. A lot of the great technologies and safety features that we've had on the other vehicles, we've now introduced on Mustang. My favorite feature unique to Mustang is called Selectable Drive Mode. The Selectable Drive Mode is available on the console with toggle switches at the bottom. And with those toggle switches, the driver can vary steering response, transmission and engine response, as well as electronic stability control. So there really has never been another car like Mustang, and there's never been a Mustang like this. Lastly, the convertible Mustang, which we do not have here today, that has a unique deck lid, unique rear fenders, and the convertible top is a much higher quality than the outgoing car. It raises and lowers in half the time of today's car. So please take a look at the Mustang and all the great Ford vehicles. I want to tell you that you have the opportunity, if you'd like to stay, in a short while there will be some walk-arounds on some of our key products here today. Thank you for being here. I will be on the show floor if you have any questions. Have a good morning.